A prefix is a word part that we add to the beginning of a base word that changes the meaning of the base word but cannot stand all by itself. A prefix, the prefix non, N-O-N, means not, and that when we know the meaning of a prefix, that can help us to determine the meaning of the word that we might not know. So in Sarah Plain and Tall, there was a song about the woolly ragwort that Caleb made up. We're going to look at these sentences and see if we can figure out how to use the meaning of the prefix non to determine the meaning of a new word. Okay? So the first sentence, the woolly ragwort is a flowering plant. The ostrich fern is a non-flowering plant. The first sentence tells me that the woolly ragwort is a flowering plant or a plant that has flowers. The second sentence tells me that the ostrich fern is a non-flowering plant. But I'm not sure what that word means. I can use what I know about prefixes, though, to help me figure out its meaning. Because I know that the prefix non means not. So non-flowering must mean not flowering. So now I know that the ostrich fern doesn't have flowers. Let's read aloud collecting dinner together. Emma and Max went to the beach to collect dinner. For an hour, they worked non-stop to find oysters, mussels, and clams. Emma tried to take the mussels off the rocks as non-violently as she could. Max was gathering sea kelp in a pail. He held up a dripping clump of it. Kelp is a non-fat food. Fish eat a very healthy diet, Max joked. Eating kelp is what gives mussels big muscles, Emma joked back. She made a muscle in each arm. She loved talking nonsense with her brother. Then Emma's arms dropped. This was the last time they would collect dinner on the beach. Tomorrow, they were moving to a prairie in the middle of nowhere. The ocean seemed alive to Emma. The prairie was definitely a non-living thing. So our job is on a piece of paper, or we can just discuss it. We're going to complete this chart. Words with the prefix non and what it means. So let's look for our first word that has the non prefix. It's in the very first two sentences. You see it? Non-stop. So we would write non-stop, which you can't because this is a projectable, and Miss Kelly is doing a terrible job of trying to make this look decent. Alright, hopefully you can read that. Non-stop is our word, and we know that non means not, so the meaning of this word would be not stopping, right? They worked not stopping. They didn't stop at all, non-stop, to find their oysters, mussels, and clams. All right, let's find the next one. Still in that very first paragraph. You see it here? Non-violently. I am not going to try to write that word in my graphic organizer down here. But not violently would be the meaning. See which other ones you can find. Pause the video and then come back when you think you've found them all and can tell the meaning of each of them. So here are all of the answers. For some reason, these circles are not really lining up, but you can see they're close enough. We have non-stop, non-violently, non-fat, nonsense, and non-living. We also have the meaning next to it in the chart. How did you do? So now it's your turn to practice with the prefix non. Page 99 in your reader's notebook. You're going to read each question and add the prefix non to the underlined word to make a new word. Then use the new word to write an answer to each question. So here's an example. A cat is a living thing. What is an example of something that is not living? So now we need to take this and make our new word. Again, this is going to be not super neat. I'm doing the best that I can though. So it's going to become non-living. You guys can go ahead and laugh. Hey, my eye was really good. Non-living, and I'm writing so big I'm not going to have a place for my new question. Okay, so non-living is the first part. Okay, it asked me to add the prefix non to the underlined word to make a new word. So there's the first part. Now I need to use the word to write an answer to each question. So it asks me an example of something that is not living. So now I need to use this new word, non-living, in my answer. So an example of a non-living thing is a rock. Okay, I answered it. I used my new word that has the prefix non in it. So I've done both of the things it asked me to do. You're going to go through the rest of this page doing that, adding the prefix non to the underlined word, writing your new word first, and then using that new word to answer the question. Make sure to have your learning adult check your work when you're done.